it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Today I've got another colour comparison for you. I've now got my InColor inks and all except one of the InColor blends. I stupidly didn't put it on my order. My fault. But I did a quick review of these on my YouTube Live, which went live on my Facebook Live, which went live on YouTube yesterday. But I thought I would do a more thorough review. I'm going to be using the Massive Thanks stamp set. I wanted something that was reasonably solid but reasonably small, so I've picked this thank you just there. And there's going to be a lot of stamp cleaning going on, so I have my my chamois ready to go. So, in no particular order, just the order I've got them stacked in, I'm going to start with Cinnamon Cider, which is the one I don't have the blends for. I'm going to do all the stamping and then I'll go back and do the blends. So, Cinnamon Cider, lovely cinnamony colour. I mean, you know, let's be sensible here. So there we go, really nice. It's a slightly orange brown, if you see what I mean by that, or understand what I mean by that. I know what I mean. I thought I would look at Soft Suede as an alternative. I've over-inked the stamp, but never mind. Definitely darker. I suspected it would be, but it's worth a try. So that is Soft Suede. Terracotta Tile I thought would be a good one to look at because this is quite orange as well. Although this has got more of a pastel tone to it. So definitely more of the sort of pink tone rather than the true orange. And then the last one I'm going to look at for these is Cajun Craze, which again has got that kind of orange tone to it. I'm actually going to stamp it upside down. I'm stretching too far across. It's just awkward. So that's possibly the nearest, but it's definitely different. It's got more of the orange tone in it. This is the Cinnamon Cider has orange, but it's not as orange. So it would kind of sit, that one doesn't work. I would say it sits between Soft Suede and Cajun Craze. Probably there or thereabouts. I will mark this up and photograph it for my website, so you've got that. So Bumblebee is next. We don't have a huge number of yellows that this would go with. I'm just thinking that might... Pumpkin Pie is definitely going to be too orange. So Bumblebee, go down a wee bit. There we are. So it's quite a nice soft yellow. So that's Bumblebee. I'm going to do Mango Melody next. And then Crushed Curry. It would be perfect if I picked up the right ink pad. I had something, I think it was Daffodil Delight. It certainly wasn't Mango Melody. So Mango Melody is going to be quite bright. Actually, I'm going to stamp that there and I'm going to come back in with Crushed Curry because it's Crushed Curry that I've been using as an alternative to Bumblebee while I was waiting for the ink. So Mango Melody. And now Crushed Curry, because I think Crushed Curry is going to be the nearest. I don't think it's going to be the same, but I think it's going to be the nearest to Bumblebee. Certainly with the cardstock it was. So it's definitely that same tone, but it's lighter. So Bumblebee is actually quite dark. It's got a kind of grey overtone, undertone, whichever it is. So that's those. Right, let's go bright. So, Magenta Madness. got a few colours to try with this one. Some are not current. In fact, most are not current. So Magenta Madness is going to be In Your Face Bright. It's neon. So that's Magenta Madness. I'm actually going to do Melon Mambo next because it's the one we've got that's current. And then we'll come to two of the other previous, as in retiring, in colours. So this is Melon Mambo, which is more red. Magenta Madness has got more of a blue pink in it, whereas Melon Mambo is more of a red pink. Hope that makes sense. So Berry Burst, which I always thought was really bright. Then I saw Magenta Madness. More purple. So again, it's the blue end of the colour range, but it's definitely not the same. So that's Berry Burst. And then Lovely Lipstick, and I've got this in more for the blends, but because I was using it for the blends, I thought I would use it for this as well. So this is just retired. And again, it's definitely red rather than this neon pink. So that's that. So next, we're going more subdued now. So I've got Misty Moonlight. While I'm doing this, do remember that it's free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you would like to be doing that as you watch along, that would be lovely. So that's Misty Moonlight. So next I'm going to go, oh actually I'm going to borrow one from one of the other piles as well. So we'll go Night of Navy next, because I think that's going to be kind of nearer, and again it's a current colour, whereas Blueberry Bushel isn't anymore. So that's Night of Navy, definitely different. Misty Moonlight again has got more of that kind of grey undertone. And then we're going to go Blueberry Bushel. Actually no, I'm going to do my borrowed one, which I'll be using more than once, I think. So this is Pretty Peacock. So on the premise that this is current as well, let's do Pretty Peacock. Definitely greener. Definitely greener. So then we can just do Blueberry Bushel. And then we've got the blues pretty much done. It may be close to Dapper Denim. I don't have a Dapper Denim ink pad anymore, so I can't try. Blueberry Bushel is definitely a brighter blue. Pacific Point is definitely a brighter blue, so that wouldn't be a match. Right, so Just Jade. I'm going to turn my paper over because methinks that I'm going to be stretching again otherwise. So Just Jade. Nice green. I do like Just Jade as a colour. I'm a bit funny with my greens. I have greens that I like and greens that I completely don't. So Shaded Spruce is what I have been using with blends as a substitute while I was waiting for my last order to come. So that's Shaded Spruce. It isn't far off, but it's definitely greener and it's definitely darker. So I can see why I looked at that as an alternative. I'm going to go Call Me Clover next because this was just retired. Didn't stamp that very well, but you can see it's definitely more of an emeraldy green. Probably what I would call a cleaner green. Don't like it. Call Me Clover is not a colour I particularly like. So I'm not crying that that's gone. And then Tranquil Tide, which I did like. But this went last year. It's better inking. Definitely darker. So that is the greens. So they are definitely their own person, if you like. Those are probably, the blue and the green are probably the nearest. Maybe, I don't know. I was thinking that Crushed Curry was going to be very close to Bumblebee. It is quite close, but I can see a difference. You may not be able to see quite the difference on camera. So that is the inks. So now let's have a look at the blends. I don't have cinnamon cider yet, so I'm going to miss that. I will come back when I've got it. I will add that in. So Bumblebee we don't have blends for, so there's no point in looking at those. So let's start with our pinks and reds. So let me find, I think that's Magenta Madness. It is Dark Magenta Madness. Wrong end. So Dark Magenta Madness. Actually, I'm going to do them down here. I was going to do them up there. So this is Dark Magenta Madness, which is pretty bright, and it's definitely the same colour. Lovely lipstick. Right, this is Light Magenta Madness, which is definitely magenta, definitely neon. Lovely lipstick. Right, Melon Mambo is the new colour, and this was Melon Mambo, so we'll do it in the... I keep taking off the end, I didn't want to take the end off. So, Melon Mambo, nice colour, but different from that. It's always going to be the last one, isn't it? Yeah, you can definitely see that this is more of the red end of the spectrum. So, lovely lipstick is definitely pinker than the Melon Mambo, but it's not Magenta Madness. And then that's the light Melon Mambo. So, definitely different. So that's those. Right, the blues. So, right, so Dark Misty Moonlight. Nice colour, it's definitely the same colour. Light of Navy, so this is going to be Light Misty Moonlight, yes. This is actually a bit bluer. It definitely goes, but it is a bit bluer. So Night of Navy, it was actually Night of Navy and Grey Granite I've been using as a combination whilst I was waiting for blends. That is definitely navy. So it's definitely bluer than this, which has got a hint of green in it. And this is the light Night of Navy. And you can see that that is definitely bluer. Probably bleeding through. I don't know, I'm all right. And only because I put it into the mix, this is Pretty Peacock. So it is green, so it's more of the tone, but it isn't the same. And then you can see with that, it's definitely different. Now I'm going to keep those out because we do use those again, and go to the greens, which we have more of. So let's start with Dark Just Jade, and I think that's Light Just Jade. I haven't got my teeth in properly this morning. Nice match. Yep, that's definitely the same tones. This was Shaded Spruce. So this is Dark Shaded Spruce. Definitely more of a green, and it does match. That I think is, no. This is Light Shaded Spruce, which has been my alternative whilst I've been waiting for my Just Jade, and it is definitely at the greener end and the clearer end, if that makes sense. Call Me Clover. Definitely a green. And again, definitely a green. and then Pretty Peacock, which we have already seen is completely different. Oh, I did them the wrong way round, but hey-ho. Right, so what I'm now going to do is pull back out probably just the darks, but I'll get both just in case. And Misty Moonlight, is that one? That's light Misty Moonlight. Dark Misty Moonlight. And what I'm going to do is, so this is the dark Misty Moonlight. I'm going to do dark and light, just so you can see how good the match is. So just Jade, dark, light. Now obviously you can layer up the colour, so if I was to come back in, you can add more depth to the colour. Still managing to not get bleed through. And then Magenta Madness. Yep, that's Magenta Madness. They match. This, I mean, the lights are obviously different, but they do match. Woohoo! Who would know? So thank you very much indeed for joining me today. It's a very different video, but it's that sort of time of the calendar, of the catalogue time. So I hope you found that helpful. We've now done the card colours and the ink colours and the blend colours. The Stampin' Right markers are going to be the right colour because they're Stampin' Right markers. But I hope you found that helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. As I say, if you would like to subscribe, I would be thrilled if you did. If you're in the UK, obviously you can both shop with me and join my team. And there are promotions for both at the moment. There's details of those over on my website. And the link to that is immediately below, and it'll be for this post. So do have a look at that. Thank you very much indeed. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon.